Bruce Lee feels the shove before he hears the voice. A shoulder drives into his chest. His heel scrapes the studio floor. Behind him, a door clicks shut. 5 seconds on the assistant SEP's stopwatch. A heavy hand drifts near a waistband across the room. Bruce turns his shoulder just enough to breathe. Steve McQueen's 300-pound guard stands inside arm's reach now, blocking the exit, chest rising slow and confident. Someone whispers. Someone else looks away. Bruce shifts his weight. Not back, sideways. The crowd tightens. The guard smiles like this is already over. Bruce sips fingers open, relaxed. A countdown starts from somewhere near the lights. 4, 3. Bruce almost loses his footing when the first push lands. For half a second, balance disappears. And then Bruce does something no one expects. He does not strike. He stands still. Wait, what? Bruce Lee feels the shove before he hears the voice. An elbow presses into his ribs. His heel scrapes the studio floor. Behind him, a door clicks shut. 5 seconds glow red on the production assistant's stopwatch. Bruce turns his shoulder just enough to breathe. Steve McQueen's 300-pound guard steps closer, blocking the exit with his chest. The man smells of sweat and cologne. His shadow swallows half the green room. Bruce's fingers open slowly at his sides, loose, uncommitted. Across the room, someone's hand drifts near a waistband. Not helping, waiting. The air tightens. Bruce shifts his weight. Not back, sideways. A makeup brush freezes midair. A cable drops from a technician's hand and hits the floor with a soft plastic sound. Steve McQueen straightens near the wall, his jaw tightening as he watches the distance collapse. 4 seconds. The guard leans in, close enough that Bruce can feel his breath. You done showing off? Bruce does not answer. His breath catches once, then settles. 3. The guard sips shoulder bumps Bruce sips chest. Harder this time. Bruce slides half a step. His foot skids on the polished floor. For a moment, balance disappears. The crowd inhales together. This is where men usually react. This is where pride steps forward. Bruce steadies. 2. He looks past the guard, not at him. He notices the exit light flickering. He notices the second man drifting wider, quiet, patient. He notices Steve McQueen's reflection in the mirror, arms crossed, eyes no longer relaxed. The guard smiles. He thinks this is control. 1. The stopwatch clicks. The guard gives Bruce a final shove, testing him, measuring how much space he can take. Bruce absorbs it with his ribs, not his spine. His shoulders stay low. His hands remain open. Silence. Then a whisper from somewhere behind the lights. He is trapped. Bruce feels heat rise in his face, not fear, pressure. He almost loses his footing again when the guard crowds forward, chest first trying to pin him to the counter. Bruce's heel slips. Just a fraction. Enough for everyone to see. Enough for the guard to believe. Bruce lifts his eyes. Calm. Still. No anger. No challenge. He does not strike. He does not retreat. He simply stands there. And the room does not understand what it is seeing. The room does not rush back to life. It hangs there, suspended. Bruce steps away from the counter slowly, creating space without announcing it. The guard does not follow yet. He studies Bruce's posture, confused by the lack of reaction. Steve McQueen shifts his stance near the wall. He has seen confrontations before. This feels different. A producer clears his throat and then stops halfway through the sound. A makeup assistant sets her kit down, hands trembling. Someone near the doorway pretends to check a cable, eyes fixed on Bruce's feet. Bruce rolls his shoulders once. Quiet, measured. He reaches for a towel and wipes sweat from his neck. Not hurried, not defensive. The guard watches every movement, waiting for bravado, waiting for fear. Neither arrives. You always this calm? The guard says. Bruce looks at him. Not directly. Just enough. I listen first, Bruce replies. The guard scoffs. He steps closer again. Too close, chest forward, testing the boundary. Bruce adjusts his stance by inches, aligning his hips, keeping his spine loose. His breath stays low in his stomach. He notices how the guard plants his feet wide, how weight settles heavy into the heels. Mass, commitment. Across the room, Steve McQueen raises one hand slightly. A warning. The guard ignores it. You made everybody clap out there, the guard says. Real pretty. Bruce nods once. Acknowledge. Nothing more. The guard circles half a step, trying to flank him. Bruce pivots with him, keeping the same distance, never letting his back touch the wall. The second man near the door shifts position, blocking the exit without saying a word. Bruce sees it. He does not react. A whisper moves through the crew. Someone turns away. Someone else leans forward. The guard exhales through his nose, annoyed now. His confidence is still intact, but irritation has entered the room. He wants Bruce to perform, to argue, to rise. Bruce gives him silence. Steve McQueen pushes off the wall. "Let it go," he says low. The guard glances back for a second. Just a second. Bruce notices the opening. He does nothing with it. That restraint lands heavier than any strike. The guard turns back, jaw tightening. His smile is gone. Frustration replaces it. He steps forward again, forcing Bruce to give ground. Bruce moves, not away, around. Their shoulders brush. The crowd inhales. Bruce's foot catches briefly on a loose cable. His balance wavers, just enough. The guard sees it, and something changes behind his eyes. The guard straightens his back. He is smiling again, not wide, contained, the kind of smile men wear when they think momentum has shifted. Bruce recovers his footing quietly, but the moment lingers. The guard clocks it, files it away. He rolls his shoulders once, loosening them, and plants his boots wider apart. Ownership. This is his language. He steps in until Bruce has to tilt his head to meet his eyes. "You almost slipped," the guard says. Bruce does not answer. He studies the man's sup's collarbone, the rise and fall of his chest, timing. The guard laughs softly. Not humor, confidence. He reaches out and taps Bruce's shoulder with 2 fingers. Light, dismissive. Bruce lets it happen. He shifts his weight to his back foot, keeping his hips loose, keeping distance measured in inches. Steve McQueen moves closer now, close enough to intervene. The guard feels the audience gathering behind him. He senses their attention the way a performer senses stage lights. His voice grows louder. "All that fast stuff," he says, "looks good for cameras." A few nervous chuckles ripple through the crew. The guard feeds on it. He gestures at Bruce's frame. "You are small." Bruce lifts his eyes, still calm. "Small can move," Bruce says. The guard snorts. He takes another step forward, crowding Bruce into the narrow space between the counter and the wall. He presses his forearm lightly against Bruce's chest, not striking, just testing. Bruce exhales, slow. He angles his body to avoid being pinned. The guard notices. He leans harder. Bruce's shoulder touches the wall. Once, the room tightens. A makeup assistant drops a sponge. Steve McQueen opens his mouth, then closes it again. Bruce slips sideways, freeing his shoulder, but the guard follows immediately, staying glued to him. He blocks the exit with his body, spreading his arms just enough to make the message clear. "You are not leaving." The second man near the door shifts again. Closer now. Bruce sees him. He keeps his eyes on the guard. The guard's confidence swells. He is winning territory without throwing a punch. His breathing grows heavier. His movements get bigger. He wants Bruce to feel it. He wants submission. "You done yet?" the guard says. Bruce shakes his head once. "No." The guard's jaw tightens. Confidence curdles into irritation. He crowds forward again. Bruce absorbs it through his ribs. His heel slides half an inch. The guard feels it. His eyes light up. And for the first time he commits. The guard moves first. Not a punch, a drive. His shoulder slams forward, trying to pin Bruce against the counter. Bruce twists at the last second, letting the impact slide across his ribs instead of into his spine. Bottles rattle. Someone gasps. Bruce steps out, but the guard stays glued to him, cutting the angle, forcing him toward the narrow space beside the lighting stand. Steve McQueen steps forward. That is enough. The guard does not hear him, or chooses not to. He reaches for Bruce's wrist. Misses. Bruce slips his arm free and pivots, but his heel catches on the edge of a cable. His balance breaks for a breath, just one. The guard surges, hands closing. Bruce stumbles into the counter. His glass tips. Water spills across the floor. The room leans forward. Bruce catches himself with his palm, then straightens, breathing controlled but sharper now. The guard smiles. He thinks this is it. Then the door behind Bruce opens. A production assistant rushes in, voice tight. "They are clearing the hallway. You have 60 seconds. 60. The number lands heavy. The second man near the exit steps fully into the doorway, arms crossing casually, not aggressive. Final. Bruce is boxed in. Two men, one behind, one in front. Steve McQueen freezes. This was not part of anything. The guard glances back at the doorway, then at Bruce. His confidence returns, doubled. He spreads his stance. "You hear that?" he says. Clock steps running. Bruce nods. Once, he lowers his center of gravity slightly, keeping his hands open. He measures the distance between his chest and the guard's shoulder. Less than a foot. The guard lunges again, grabbing for Bruce's collar. Bruce redirects the grip, rolling his shoulder under the arm, but the guard uses his weight, driving forward. Bruce steps back, hits the wall. Harder this time. Air leaves his lungs. A sharp sound escapes his throat before he can stop it. Steve McQueen takes another step. "Stop!" The guard does not stop. He presses his forearm into Bruce Sepp's chest. Bruce feels pressure in his ribs. He shifts his hips, trying to angle out. The second man moves closer. 3 steps. Bruce Sepp's vision narrows. This is the near failure. He is trapped. For half a second, there is nowhere to go. Bruce closes his eyes, not in surrender, in calculation. He exhales. Then he drops his weight. And the room feels something change. Bruce sinks lower, not falling, placing. The guard feels it and reacts late. His grip tightens on Bruce's collar, pulling him forward, trying to crush him with mass. Bruce's shoulder scrapes the wall. His ribs flare with pain. For a moment, his feet slide on the wet floor from the spilled water. The room makes a sound together, a soft collective inhale. Bruce Sepp's knee buckles, just slightly, enough for the guard to believe. He bears down harder. This is where size usually wins. Bruce Sepp's breath stutters. His vision blurs at the edges. The second man steps closer, 2 feet behind Bruce now. Steve McQueen calls his name, not loud, urgent. Bruce does not answer. The guard hooks an arm around Bruce's neck, sloppy but heavy, trying to drag him down. Bruce's balance collapses. His back arches, his hands come up instinctively, catching the guard's forearm, not fighting it, just keeping space for air. 3 seconds. The assistant Sepp's stopwatch clicks. Bruce feels the wall dig into his spine. This is the moment. This is where people panic. Bruce almost does. His heel slips again. His head dips. The guard laughs. He thinks he has it. Bruce Sepp's chest burns. His lungs demand oxygen. He feels the weight of the room pressing in. Eyes, breath, hands. Bruce lets his body go soft. Not weak, soft. He drops his center. The guard's grip shifts as Bruce changes levels, and for a fraction of a second the pressure lifts. That fraction is everything. Bruce turns inside the hold, threading his shoulder under the arm, rotating his hips. The movement is small, almost invisible. His foot finds dry floor, his spine straightens. The guard stumbles forward, surprised by the sudden absence of resistance. Bruce is no longer pinned, but he is not free yet. The guard recovers fast, too fast. He reaches again, grabbing Bruce's sleeve, yanking him back. Bruce twists, fabric stretches. A sharp tear echoes in the room. Bruce Sepp's shirt pulls loose at the side, skin exposed. The crowd reacts. Someone whispers. Someone covers their mouth. The guard Sepp's breathing turns ragged. Desperation enters his eyes. He swings a heavy right. Bruce barely clears it. The punch passes inches from his jaw. Air moves. Bruce feels it. He pivots, but his shoulder clips the counter. Pain flashes. The guard charges again. No more testing. No more talk. Only force. Bruce plants his foot. His hands rise. Not to strike. To receive. The guard rushes in. Head down. Shoulders forward. Everything committed. Bruce does not retreat. He steps inside the charge. Not back. Forward. His left hand meets the guard's wrist. Not gripping, just guiding. His right forearm slides across the guard's chest, redirecting momentum. Bruce turns his hips as one unit, dropping his weight at the same time. The movement is quiet, controlled. The guard Sepp's feet leave the floor. Not high, just enough. 300 pounds becomes unbalanced mass. The room watches it happen in silence. The guard lands hard on his side, breath exploding from his lungs. The mirror rattles. A light stand wobbles. Someone cries out. Bruce stays standing. He does not chase. He does not posture. He steps back and opens his hands. The guard scrambles to rise, pride pulling him upward before his body is ready. He makes it to one knee, eyes wild, reaching for Bruce's leg. Bruce places his foot gently on the guard's chest. Not pressing, just present. The contact stops everything. The guard freezes. Bruce looks down at him. Calm, unmoved. "Stay there," Bruce says. Quiet, almost kind. The guard does not understand what has happened yet. He grabs Bruce's ankle, hard, fingers digging in. He yanks, trying to pull Bruce down into chaos. Bruce allows the pull. He drops with it, not falling, flowing. His free leg arcs in a short, tight motion. His heel touches under the guard's chin. Not violent, precise. The guard's sip's grip vanishes. His head meets the floor. This time he does not rise. The room does not breathe. Bruce steps away, creating space. He adjusts his torn shirt, smooths the fabric. He nods once toward the production assistant. "He will be dizzy," Bruce says. "Give him water." Steve McQueen finally moves. He crosses the room slowly, stops beside Bruce, looks at him, really looks. Bruce meets his eyes. There is no triumph there, only presence. "What was that?" Steve asks. Bruce exhales. "That was timing." The guard lies on his back, staring at the ceiling, chest heaving. His confidence is gone. His anger is gone. Only confusion remains. Bruce picks up his bag. He slips the strap over his shoulder. He turns toward the door, then pauses. He looks back once, not at the guard, at the room. "Everyone breathe," Bruce says, and they do. The guard sits up slowly, not all the way, just enough to understand where he is. His hands shake as he presses his palm against the floor. His jaw works like he is chewing something bitter. Someone slides a bottle of water toward him. He does not reach for it. He keeps staring at Bruce, not with anger, with something else. Steve McQueen stands nearby, silent. He has seen men fall before. He has never seen one emptied like this. The room begins to move again. Soft footsteps, low whispers. A lighting tech turns his back. A makeup assistant avoids eye contact. The humiliation is quiet, but it fills the space. The guard pushes himself to his feet, using the wall. His knees wobble. He steadies himself with one hand, breathing uneven. He is no longer large in the room. He is just a man trying not to fall. Bruce waits. He does not leave yet. He gives the guard time. The guard swallows, hard. "You did not have to do that," he says. Bruce shakes his head once. "Yes," Bruce replies. "I did." The guard looks down. His shoulders slump. Confidence drains out of him like air from a punctured tire. He nods slowly, accepting something he does not have words for. Steve McQueen clears his throat. No one looks at him. The guard steps away from the wall. He stops 3 feet from Bruce. Not close, careful. "I thought size decided things," the guard says. Bruce meets his eyes. "Size is one tool," Bruce says. "When it is your only tool, you become predictable." The guard absorbs this. He does not argue. He does not defend himself. He simply stands there, a man who has just discovered the limits of his own body. Someone coughs. The production assistant checks the stopwatch. No one laughs. The guard nods again. Lower this time, a gesture of respect. He steps back. He creates space. Bruce shoulders his bag. Steve McQueen finally speaks. "You okay?" Bruce gives a small nod. "I am fine." The guard looks at the floor, then back up. His voice is quieter now. "I need to learn." Bruce studies him for a moment. Then Bruce answers, "Start with listening." The guard exhales, long. He steps aside to clear the doorway. Not forced, chosen. Bruce walks past him. No contact. No glance back. Just movement. The door closes softly behind Bruce. The room remains still. Steve McQueen lights a cigarette with shaking hands. No one says what they are thinking. They all felt it. Something shifted. The guard does not go home that night. He sits in his car in the studio parking lot with the engine off, hands resting on the steering wheel, staring through the windshield at nothing. His jaw aches. His ribs ache. Something deeper hurts more. He replays it again and again. The shove, the slip, the stillness. He has been strong his entire life. Strength solved problems. Strength opened doors. Strength kept him employed. Tonight, strength failed demonstrate. 3 days later, he walks into a small training hall on the east side of the city. No mirrors, no trophies, just worn mats and quiet students. He stands in the doorway until an older instructor looks up. "You want to train?" the instructor asks. The guard nods. "Yes." "Why?" The question hangs. He answers honestly. "Because I do not know anything." The instructor studies him, then gestures toward the mat. Steve McQueen calls Bruce that afternoon. They talk about work, about schedules. They do not talk about the green room. They do not need to. Some moments do not require replay. Weeks pass. The guard returns to the hall again and again. He learns to stand differently, to breathe before moving, to feel distance instead of forcing it. His body never becomes fast. It never becomes graceful. But his awareness changes. He stops interrupting. He starts watching. Bruce Lee continues teaching. Students come looking for speed. They leave with patience. He never tells the story. He never claims the moment. He just keeps showing up. Years later, Steve McQueen is asked what made Bruce different. He pauses before answering. "He did not take power," Steve says. "He changed it." The guard eventually leaves security work. He helps beginners now, men who come in carrying anger, women who arrive holding fear. He teaches them balance first, breathing second, only then technique. He never challenges anyone again. Bruce Lee never knows how far that night travels. He never sees the ripple, but it exists, quiet, lasting, not in headlines, not in legends, in choices, in posture, in how one man learned to listen instead of dominate. That is what remains. Not the fall, not the silence, the change.